That's not a green screen behind him either.
No, it's just his wall.
Yep.
It's a little bit scary, a little bit unnerving, but
Unnerving. I don't know if it's a little green. Maybe a
sure.
Paint it white, add some plants instead. That's kind of my go-to there. But
yeah, paint it white, no plants. How about that? Yeah. Let me throw that one at you a little bit.
Well, I'm dodging it, and if I can dodge that, I can definitely dodge a ball. That's kind of what I feared here from Shoop is how quickly this Reno deck is going to get kind of run over by two of these builds, and we'll see if he can kind of stabilize through this.
For some reason, I thought the Rat had Zoo.
Yeah, I thought he did
the Rat
too.
actually has the exact same lineup as Shoop.
I mean, I literally thought he had Zoo as well.
Stripecrow had Zoo. That's right.
That's what it was. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
so these guys have the exact same lineup. Assuming Shoop has an Aggro Shaman, which has been banned the last two series, these guys' lineups are the same.
Wow. So
Control Warrior.
Ignore that analysis TJ and I provided. This Hunter matchup is really good for Shoop.
Interesting that these guys have the same lineup but different bands. What do you think?
Really curious about that actually. It could be the difference in the way that Shoop's Warrior is built. I don't know if do we see Elise from the Rat?
I'm not sure, but I assume so because he doesn't run N'Zoth. So if you don't run N'Zoth, you sort of have to run Elise. I mean, you're not really sacrificing anything in your deck by running Elise.
Yeah.
Outside of if you're running N'Zoth, you take that Shifter's Heiress and you run with it.
He actually snap takes the Shifter's Heiress.
Corruption in South Sea deckhand? When do you not take Shifter's Heiress there? Shifter's Heiress can be anything. It could even be a South Sea deckhand.
It's kind of the problem is that it can be anything, but at the same time, if he hits jackpot with it, it's sort of like an investment. Eventually it may pay dividends. It could just do nothing, but
sometime that the stock price will inflate tomorrow, and you need to sell the next turn.
Yeah, Shoop is really debating over this quick shot here, and I like it. I mean, would you turn a quick shot into a 2/1 fiery bat right now? And I think the answer is yes, especially if it can attack this turn.
Yeah,
Spellslinger. I don't think. Oh, he is going to go for it. It looks like. I mean,
I think it's time to sell.
I think it's time to Twilight Drake, personally.
To each his own.
I mean, giving a spell to Hunter, that's not the business I'm in right now.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, I like the Twilight Drake.
Fair enough.
This is kind of outside of Deadly Shot, Hunter doesn't really have any clean ways to answer this. I mean, he does have the kill command alongside the Fiery Bat, which he may choose you. Oh, well. Scratch that.
Or just Deadly Shot and call it a day. Clean her up.
Yeah, I don't think there's much consideration for Houndmaster this turn. I think your turns are looking so clean afterwards. And this is really the big 4-mana play that Reno Lock can make is this one. And if your opponent has, say, Taz Dingo on the next turn, you have Houndmaster run that over. Deadly Shot pretty easy here and push 5 damage. It's kind of the exact same situation that the Rat was in last game. I'm sorry, that Shoop was in last game.
Oh, it's an
Also
Eldritch Horror now. Is that what it's called? Eldritch? Yeah, Eldritch Horror.
I'm surprised you knew the name of that because I didn't even recognize that card.
I was just played it in Arena yesterday.
I was about to ask if that was a bug. Is that a non-collectible?
Yeah. It's a card. It's an 8-mana 0/0. What the heck?
And so this will be the first turn that's kind of difficult coming up for Shoop here. The option to either kill command this Earthen Ring Farseer, try to run it over with the Fireback at Lucky, run it over with the King's Relic, and if you run over the King's Relic, you Houndmaster first. Either way, you're going to be vulnerable to AoE in some form or fashion, or you're going to forego development. And so this is honestly the first position he's gotten into, which is at all difficult. But given that he has the Savannah Highmane follow-up, I imagine he's going to be pretty comfortable against AoE. Just follow up the Savannah Highmane and keep the push going. Yeah, he's even just going to go face here. So this is vulnerable to Shadow Flame. The Rat's got to have that pretty perfectly. Happens to. Well, Eerie Statue is certainly not the way to combo it with Shadow Flame.
possibilities.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just abusive Sergeant Shadowflame here. I don't really see much room for else.
Well, not the 4-mana 7/7 he was really looking for. I mean, is there any other way that he can go about this besides just abusive Sergeant Shadowflame?
I mean, there is consideration for like Eerie Statue to set up Shadowflame Soulfire, the 5/4, run over the 4/3, which is apparently what he's going to go with.
Yeah. I mean, this sets up for a really big Shadowflame going into next turn.
Also, Defender of Argus too. I mean, this is exactly this isn't too bad. I mean, this is a pretty interesting line. But if he discards that Defender of Argus,
all right. Well, Faces Manipulator is not too shabby, but he's going to need to find this Reno Jackson ASAP, and even though your stash is going to be a big wall to get through,
Houndmaster will get through it.
And also, oh my God, I've had dreams of this moment, Admirable.
The 7 damage doesn't really do anything right now. That's the problem with this. If the 7 damage actually did something, this would be relevant.
Yeah.
Use the Sergeant Defender of Argus pretty easy, I think. And just hope that this fends it off, but my gosh, these turns look so good for Shub.
There's a Ragnaros snuck into this deck.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Ragnaros is in here too, I mean, this is even more pressure on the Rats deck to really, really perform in the coming turns here.
Yeah. I mean, you have some clean trades here, but
I'm going to take a look at what Animal Companion looks like first.
I don't think that makes... Actually, yeah, he can kill command now and trade in and save this Houndmaster and preserve the Savannah Highmane.
It's pretty good. And have the Ragnaros set for next turn. This is a tough-looking spot for the Rat.
But this lines up nicely for Spellbreaker to take out the Savannah Highmane. But at this point, I think it might be a little too late. The Rat's not going to be able to fit in many taps anymore. He's going to have to try and go for a Desperation tap later. And look for that Reno Jackson to bring himself back up. If he does, he might be in a good spot. But at the moment, he's staring at so much damage. Eaglehorn Bow is even more.
Houndmaster, Eaglehorn Bow, clean up the board, leave yourself with 8 power. And have Ragnaros rolling the next turn with Eaglehorn Bow online already.
Yeah.
I don't see much better than that. This is about as good as it gets when your opponent's killed just about everything you have.
Yeah. I think Shoot might be thinking, if I do that, do I trade? The brand seems to be the big deal here. Incredibly threatening, but he's thinking, he's been through Defender of Argus. What could Brand punish me with?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking too. I mean, maybe it's not clean up the Brand even. Again, because he's seen the Defender of Argus. I'll tell you what, I don't want to find out why the Brand should be there. That's going to be the thought in my head. I mean, your opponent has to have Reno here to live anyway, and if your opponent has Reno, you bought yourself some extra value with that play. And I think the Rat is actually relegated to Sylvanas and Power of Woman here, unless he feels like life tapping for Reno is a better way to win. That's about it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go. And really wants to take that Leok right now.
I mean, either way, well, he's not dead. Unless he takes the... Well, now he's the potential to be dead.
Oh, he is dead. He is dead for sure. Clear up that 4-3. Drop that Ragnaros, 4 to face. 8 more from Ragnaros. Shoop getting on the board here quick as well. 1 game apiece. Reno deck so far not getting it done in this series, and that's part of the reason why we've seen Reno kind of fall out of favor as well. It's not just because Zoo's such a powerful deck, but because against a lot of the aggressive builds, it just does not perform the same way it used to. Prior to this, they had Zombie Chow in the opening. Just that card alone was a way to win a game versus aggros, be able to open with turn 1 Zombie Chow and then stabilize the board pressure. Losing that single piece makes it so much more difficult.
Funny thing is, now the bans have sort of been nullified. They both took wins with that other deck, the opposite deck that they didn't ban from each other against the Reno Lock, and now we're sort of reset to a best of 3 with Reno Lock Control Warrior versus Reno Lock